Good morning, 4th and 5th graders. This is your work for Thursday, April the 16th. I hope you're off to a great start today. Today, just for history, we're gonna recite Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. And as you recite it, I want you to think of one quick thing that I wanted to say here, in case you didn't know about the Gettysburg Address. But again, this is Lincoln's address to the nation. And it was a 3-minute speech, very quick speech, and that was dedicated to the Civil War battlefields, and they made that a cemetery. And also, he wasn't the main speaker at this at this conference, or at this press conference, whatever you would call it. The dedication was not actually President Lincoln. It was actually a man that was Edward Everett, who spoke for 2 hours. But just with his 3-minute speech, Lincoln made a great impact in history with this speech and with what he said. The American tradition also says that President Lincoln wrote out the speech on the back of an old envelope during his train ride to Gettysburg. So imagine like writing a speech on your way to this speech where he's going to go to, and writing it on an envelope. It wasn't even something that he really thought of like deeply, which I thought was interesting. So I thought you would find that interesting. Let's go ahead and recite the Gettysburg Address, and then I want you to repeat it a couple times at home on your own. Remember, repetition is the key to learning. So let's recite this a couple times. Ready? 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of the field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that the nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. All right, so we're only getting into the second paragraph here of the Gettysburg Address, and I want you to say it. Maybe when we're in class, we usually say it about 5 times or more than that. So I hope you're being honest at home and trying your best to say it. And then what I wanted to say here was one word that might stand out to you that you might say: proposition. Proposition. Proposition is an idea or a suggestion. And as you see there, to the proposition that all men are created equal. The idea or suggestion. This is a big part in this speech, because he sees the fact that all men were all the same. And although he says men here, he technically means men and women. But I wanted you to see that and see the idea there, and how this nation was conceived on liberty, and how it's dedicated to that we are all created equal. And in God's eyes, we're all the same. In God's eyes, you and I, we're no different than one another, because he sees us all as the same. He died for all of us. He didn't die for the rich. He didn't die just for the poor. He died for everyone. The rich, the poor, the smart, the not so smart. He loved us all. And I'm glad that we had one of our founding fathers, one of our presidents here, that thought that same idea, that believed that idea. So anyways, go over that a couple times today, and that would be it for today. Alrighty, love y'all, miss y'all, and we will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye bye.